toughest 20th, Frank, between AJ and Usyk?
I think it's, I can only go back on what I've seen, excuse me, on their strengths and weaknesses. And I was quite surprised how easily Usyk handled him in the first fight. And it seemed to me he was boxing to orders. I mean, he was out there. He wasn't out there trying to take him out. And there was a couple of times in the fight, certainly in the last round, where I think he could have stopped him. And I think this time round, I think he will stop him. And this is not a rematch like he had with Ruiz, who trained in his larder. This fella is a complete athlete, Usyk. He's trained hard. He's in camp. He takes it seriously. So I think he's going to have his hands full. And remember, he's not going to get any home advantage this time.
Those are the words of Frank Warren. As you heard him say, he thinks that Usyk stops Anthony Joshua. Let me counterpunch. It's kind of hard to say what's genuine or what not with Frank, because that's not Frank's fighter. And we know about these guys, these promoters, they only really promote their own. However, you could say, well, he doesn't promote either fighter, which he doesn't. So this I believe is a genuine prediction from Frank Warren. I think that Frank's looking at it like, hey, what happened the last time, which is reasonable, and even if he is, you have to argue with what he's actually saying and how he backs it up. He's basing it on the last fight. In the last fight, Usyk went in there and put on a master class. And then he showed that he could turn it up if he wanted to. And he showed us all that in the 12th round. See, Usyk didn't have to do what he did in the 12th round. He did that because I think he chose to. I think he was instructed to box. I think in the 12th round, he was like, you know what? Let me take it to him and see where he's at. Let me see what he will do when I do open up on him. And we saw what happened. AJ went back into the ropes. He was just trying to get out of the way of those punches. He was trying to work more on defense than ever offense. And it just looked like a survival mode from AJ because he was getting tagged with these punches he did not like. Now, how bad were those punches hurting him? We don't know, but we do know that AJ looked like he was out of gas. Okay? And that happens, though, when you start getting hit with punches. And one thing people don't understand about fighting, especially when you're in the ring, when you start getting hit with shots, and you're trying to avoid shots, and you're trying to move out of the way, but you're constantly getting hit. And the punches that you are missing, they're missing you by this much. They're missing you by this much. You get hit with that shot. You get hit with that shot. You miss the other shot. What's happening, though? Your adrenaline is spiking because you're excited, okay? But it's either you're moving your head going side to side or you're throwing punches. It's still the same concept. As long as your adrenaline is spiked, you're going to get tired. AJ looked gassed. Look at AJ when that bell rang, or when it finally rang. We have to put that up. I have to mention that because that bell looked like it was off. If it was off from the beginning or the end, it was still off. Okay. So either way you look at it, if it was the right amount of time, the time wasn't up with the original time or whatever. It was real strange. Nonetheless, when the bell rang, what did AJ immediately do? AJ he went on his stool, he got in that corner, and he looked like he had just ran 300 miles or ran away from something, and he was just utterly exhausted. I mean, exhausted. So what it is, it's like, hey, what do you have to go on if a guy wasn't even trying to knock you out? I think Usyk turned it on in the 12th round. And if he tries that in the earlier rounds, we may or may not see the same result. Why? Because Anthony Joshua won't be as tired, but we know that Anthony Joshua, has a problem with stamina. And I have a whole video set aside with you guys coming soon about Anthony Joshua, what's expected of him versus what he's doing. Okay. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Frank Warren's prediction that Usyk stops Anthony Joshua. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.